Hello, everybody, and welcome to our channel. I'm Mark.
And I'm Rob.
Today, we're going to talk about the fact that no matter what Caitlin Clark does or says, the ABC network, anyone but Caitlin, will always hate her. So, hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do set the notification bell when you do, so you get notified of our next video. So, Rob, ABC network is what people have labeled, and myself have labeled, anyone but Caitlin. And essentially what they want is that the league to be popular with anyone but Caitlin. And they want the best player to be anyone but Caitlin. They want the most popular player to be anyone but Caitlin. They want the league to grow because of anyone but Caitlin. And they want to give everybody else credit but Caitlin. And that's just the way it is. And so they're not going to give her credit ever, because the fact that she's white and straight, didn't go to UConn, and gets way, way more publicity, attention, and money than everybody else. And they're jealous and envious of her. And it's as simple as that. It really is as simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, Mark. We talked about it. It's very simple. Why? The reason why. I mean, any kind of award. It started when she walked right into the league. Right in the beginning, it started out with the referees. You could see it happening with that, and then all the way through the season. And then when she's winning these awards, there still wasn't any kind of recognition. It was just like, yeah. But what about Angel Reese? Okay.
Well, Rob, that's interesting, because I anticipated some of the players to be jealous and envious of her because of the amount of attention she got, given the makeup of the league. I didn't even think about the refs. It just didn't enter my mind. I just thought they would be kind of neutral. And maybe, she wouldn't get the benefit of the calls because she was a rookie and not a superstar that's been in the league for 5 to 10 years. But I didn't think they'd be against her. Like they're like activists almost, like, that they were against this woman. It's like, it's not her fault that she's white. It's not her fault that she's straight. It's not her fault that she's a rookie getting a lot of attention and making a lot of money. But they took it out on her by almost 75 to 80% of the games. She got screwed over. The other 25 to 20%, she maybe got a fair end of the deal. She never got the benefit of the calls in any of the games that she was in, Rob. And I think it affected her play.
A technical foul, hitting a stanchion, which I guess is in the rules, but still, hitting an innate object, I guess that causes you to, which I've seen it all over. I've been watching some games lately, in women's and men's. I've seen them hit the stanchion, even warm up. Even in the NBA, I think some of the players run down and they hit the stanchion. So shouldn't that be a technical foul in the NBA now? Because you hit. I'm like,
and there was all sorts of fouls that weren't called flagrant ones that should have been.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but that just shows you that there's an all-encompassing organization. Anyone involved in the league, not anyone, but almost everyone involved in the league, seems to be against Caitlin Clark. The commissioner won't stand up for her. I'm not saying she's 100% against her, but in essence, by not standing up for her, she is, and not giving her any credit, she is. A lot of the players, I don't have a percentage. A lot of the players hate her and are jealous and envious of her. The marketing guy wouldn't market her and then claim, well, we couldn't see it coming. Even the marketing guy, he's a white guy too. It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
I mean, how could this
the
happen?
commissioner's white, by the way. They're all afraid of the black lesbians that have so much control and say in this league. And Rob, that's essentially the problem. Is like, let me quote a comment from someone that made a comment on one of our videos. They said, this is from Fipcom Mavang or something. I don't know, 7092. Made a great comment. What does the NBA want? What do players want? It should be clear that the WNBA and some of the owners are not on the same page. I'll get to that. Do they want to grow and make it successful? Do players just want to keep it as a black league? Lesbians only? I don't get it. Why does the NBA even allow Sheila Johnson to make those statements? I don't understand their intentions. I responded, good point. They want the league to be hugely successful without the likes of Caitlin Clark, and at the same time still being an activist league. So let's break this down, Rob. They said, what does the NBA want and what do the players want? Well, I guess I answered that question right there in that sentence.
Right.
That's exactly. They want the league to be really successful, and they want to be an activist league, and you follow them even if you don't like the things that you're being active on, your politics. They want you to follow anyways. They want you to just ignore that and follow you anyways. And not everybody's like that.
And
So
follow,
that's never
and then the coach in the league wants you, because they want a cup, a mid-season cup, wants us to follow them. Now look at us. So we should change our allegiance to who we follow just because they won that. So now, okay, I guess I'm a Lynx fan. I'm not an Indiana Fever fan. I got to follow the Lynx. So they're trying to make it like the decision, make decisions for people. That's why it's called fans. Make your own decisions on your teams. You've been a fan for the Packers for over years. I've been a Browns fan for over years. I'm not changing. You're not changing. No matter what, my Browns have not won a Super Bowl. You would think I'd be like, I get pity, like, oh, you poor Rob. You got the Browns.
They should have learned their lesson from the NFL. The NFL found that out when they were doing too much of the kneeling down and sitting down for the national anthem. It actually hurt their ratings for about a year. Then it bounced back because the NFL is always growing. More women are following it, everything. So it didn't, but it did. And the NBA had some popularity dips when they got too much of an activist league, and they still are today. And right now they're not doing well in the ratings. So it's not like it's a whole conspiracy against the WNBA. It's people don't want politics and sports together. At least most people. Apparently, some Caitlin Clark fans on the far right do, because they're not going to follow her anymore. Which I don't believe most of them are going to do that. So,
my thing, Mark, is that how can they not see that they're doing this, and they think people are like blind to it and don't see what they're doing. I mean, the average person sees what they're doing. They're like, after a while, because they're doing it, so I'm like, hey, how come they're not making that foul call on her, but Caitlin Clark gets nailed and nothing happens? What's up? I mean, they do question. I don't think they realize that people are going to question what they're doing.
All right, or what they're saying, doing, and what they're following in politics, and the fact that they want to just watch basketball. Let's go to this other statement in this comment. It should be clear the WNBA and some of the owners are not on the same page. Now, yes, a lot of the players are on the same page as the owners that are speaking out basically against Caitlin Clark and her popularity. But some of the players are probably really upset about what the WNBA and some of its owners are, but are afraid to speak up because it's hurting them in the pocket. They know if they let Caitlin Clark shine, they'll all make more money, but they're afraid to say anything, Rob.
Right. I mean, and what brought it out, Mark, what really brought it out was the All-Star game. And the way, when you had other players, you had even the people on the Olympic team talking to each other like, geez, maybe she should be on our team. Or, the other players, or people coming up to her after the game, hey, would you like to play with us? I mean, that really brought it out in the open where everybody could see, if you watch the All-Star game, going, damn, she's really good. Why are they picking on her?
And it looked like the other 11 players really enjoyed playing with her too. Now, I can't speak for all 11 of them, but that's the way it looked. Because she helped them win the game. Rike did obviously too, because she got hot. But anyways, they said, do you want to grow and make it successful? Yes, they do, but they want it on their terms, which is not possible, Rob. There's not enough of a demand to watch Black lesbians play women's basketball and just be Black lesbians dominating the league. There's just not enough of demand. They're just not popular enough to watch because they're not excited enough, not because they're Black lesbians, just because women basketball is not as exciting enough. And they want to be successful, but it's not going to happen on their terms unless 5 Black lesbians become just as exciting and as good as Caitlin Clark in the next few years, which isn't going to happen because she's a generational talent.
Well, Mark, and even like I said, you don't have to even say lesbians. This women's basketball in general, people are starting to watch it. But I mean, if there's a football game on, and there's a women's basketball game on, I know which one I'm going to watch. Most people are going to watch. So when they want it their way, but then they can't really realize that you're not really that popular anyway. So someone is making you. Bringing people who've never even watched a women's basketball game. This person is bringing them in, making you a profit.
Right. Well, the problem is there's only so many players that are that exciting in women's basketball because it's not as exciting as men's. So it's kind of a unique talent that Caitlin Clark has, and they can't accept that. The men can be exciting because they do the dunks, they're faster, and they jump higher and everything like that. They have other advantages other than how Steph Curry became popular, which is kind of the same way Caitlin Clark did with the long range threes. So it's harder for them to be exciting athletes as men just because of their limitations physically. So they're at a disadvantage, but so they're not going to be as many players like Caitlin Clark. That doesn't come around that often. And they think they're delusional if they think that's what's going to happen, that they're going to become really successful because a bunch of players are like Caitlin Clark that have the unique it factor and unique skill and exciting. It doesn't matter whether they're black lesbians or not black lesbians. There's not going to be that many players like her to grow like that. So they ought to take advantage of the fact that they have one in their grasp and promote her.
Mark, they keep being it down even after the season. With college basketball, you see, we got Juju Watkins over here, we got Paige Beckers. See, like I said, the distraction. Look over here. Look what we got over here. Don't worry about this object right here. It's like the Wizard of Oz.
We got two women that are about to replace her in the WNBA.
It's like the Wizard of Oz with the wizard. Pay no attention to the person behind the curtain.
No, and they've got to be, apparently they have to be women on the left because they don't want to promote Hannah Hidalgo because she's very religious and has said some, she said basically what she said was that gay marriage is a sin. So that she's not on the Activist League agenda. She's not in the club. So they're not even promoting her. The media is not promoting her now. But she's so exciting. I think that she's going to overcome that, Rob.
And that's the thing, Mark. No matter what they say and what they do and what they can talk, they can't stop progress. They can't stop it. Caitlin Clark is going to be whatever. She's going to do well. She's going to be fantastic in the league. And whoever, the other players coming in are going to make the league great. But Caitlin Clark will be the face of the WNBA. They can't try to hide it. It's going to happen. And they should just roll with it. Stop being a bunch of petty little women, jealous women, and she's going to make you money. That's the bottom line. Like Ric Flair says, the bottom line is money.
I can't wait to see this year's MVP race and voting and comments about it. Because chances are it'll be very close between her and A'ja Wilson unless one of them gets hurt or one of the team doesn't do well. And, maybe Nafisa Collier will get in there or whatever. But it'll be very close. I don't think Caitlin Clark is going to be the best player by a large margin. I think by the end of the year, she will be. So if it's very clear that she should be the MVP, they're going to say, oh, we should make it co-MVP.
Right.
That's what they'll do. If it's really, which I'm not sure it will be, but it'll be somewhat close. If it's really, really close, they're all going to say, oh, it should be A'ja Wilson. And that's what Nafisa Collier, whatever. But more likely A'ja Wilson, because that's the one they always get behind. Right. That's what's going to happen. I can see it right now. It's going to be the same way as the Rookie of the Year thing was. They're going to overrate A'ja Wilson and underrate Caitlin Clark. And they're going to either try to make it a co-MVP if Caitlin Clark is a clear winner, or if it's really close, they're all going to say, this is obvious it's A'ja Wilson and not Caitlin Clark.
A'ja Wilson brings more to her team than Caitlin Clark is. Look at her turnovers. There you go.
The problem A'ja Wilson has is she doesn't really make her teammates better. So that's why Caitlin Clark, I think, should be the favorite for the MVP this year, is that she clearly makes her teammates a lot better than anyone else in the league by a large margin. And she's the best offensive force in the league if you add assists and scoring. And so that's the thing. Now she's just got to, cut down a little bit on the turnovers and improve her on-ball defense.
I mean, I said it before, Mark, in previous videos. I'm a guy. And like I said, most guys like basketball. I'm a basketball fan. I love basketball. I would love to play with and be on Caitlin Clark's team. Like, wow, this is fun. Look at those passes. Like, I'd run the court. She'll pass it to me when I'm open, not like when someone's on me. She sees that I'm open. She'll hit me with a pass and go for the layup. I might average 5 points a game instead of 3.
You would get in great shape, Rob, so you could run the court more, which is
right,
what I think Aaliyah Boston's going to do this year. She's going to show up in camp in shape, and so that's what it is. But it's they want what I don't think can happen because they have limitations, given that women's basketball is not as exciting as men's basketball. So they have that limitation already, and they're not willing to accept it. They keep saying, well, these women never got their due, never got their attention. Well, that's because it's not as exciting. It's like everything else in society. Some sports, people sound more exciting if they're men, some for women, like figure skating and gymnastics. Beach volleyball does well for women. Even women's volleyball in college does well. So sometimes the women do get more attention, publicity, but most of the time it's men, and they're just not willing to accept it. This is a sport that men's always going to get more publicity than the women because of the athletic ability of them. And they just think it's all racist or because they're lesbians. No, it's because that's exciting. And that's really why that league's never been popular, besides the fact that too much being activists all the time and it turns people off.
Right.
That's all this is about.
It's about.
I wish, I don't know why this doesn't get through to them, because actually, Rob, there was some guy did a history of the WNBA, a podcaster, and he said the first 2 years they were kind of popular. It was new and everything like that. And then they demanded, more money, and they demanded like a cut of the thing, and the league was losing lots of money. And they started their activist stuff, and it got turned off. And then that's when the league became less popular. The first couple of years, you go back and look at it, it was popular. Then it wasn't popular for 25 years for all the reasons that we've just given in this video. And
but they say they're the it. But they say that they don't say that, Mark. They say that what is wrong. They've always been popular. In fact, they've been more popular even before Caitlin Clark came in.
It's been the same for 25 years. It was kind of popular for 2 years, and it was the same for 25 years until as the owner of the Mystics said, until something clicked. Something we can't figure out what.
This outside force.
Let me think what it was. Let me see.
Just kind of dropped in.
Until something clicked. It was Caitlin Clark, okay? All right. So they're going to try to minimize her success, and they're going to want her to share all her awards with the rest of the league, even though, I don't remember last year Asia Wilson shared the MVP award with the top 5 vote getters or the whole league. I don't remember her doing that. Or Nafisa Collar didn't share her Defensive Player of the Year award with anybody else. I don't remember doing that. I don't remember the New York Liberty sharing their championship trophy with us.
Mark, they should. According to the Mystics, they should. Everybody should be in there.
Yeah. That's what they should. I mean, how far are we going to take this?
One of our people to watch their videos, I like their comment. They were saying how when they played a Mystic 4 times this year, so the times that they played a Mystic in D.C., Caitlin Clark should pull like most of the maybe the NBA players. Oh, I'm kind of hurt. I'm sick. I don't feel good.
Sit out those 2 games, and make sure she does it far enough in advance so they don't sell any tickets. Either.
Do it far enough in advance.
And Atlanta Dream.
And then at the last second, she pulls out.
Well, no, they'll still sell the tickets. That won't do any good.
Yeah,
you want to try to hurt him in the pocket,
right?
So she's got to say that like a couple weeks in advance. They're gonna rest her because it's a back-to-back. They do have 2 back-to-back games this year. So, anyways,
yeah, she should pull out and not play in DC. Like, oh, my shoulder, jeez.
It's important in life to know when to pull out, Rob. That's just the way it is.
I'm not going to touch that because we're a family show. And
on that note,
that's all I got to say about that.
Huh? What's that?
That's all I got to say about that.
Okay. All right. So, hey, let us know what you think. It goes deeper in this, and I suppose I could go on and on about, why and how they hate her and how they're going to hold her down until they hold her down. But it's just interesting. They went rookie of the year when it's Caitlin and someone worse than her, but when it's the other way around, no, it's unanimous. It has to be unanimous.
They always want to include. They got to include the other players. They got Caitlin. There's Caitlin Clark, and there's these other players. Not it's Caitlin Clark. Why are we focusing on one player? Why do we always focus on one player? That's how we run things in this league. It's not just one person.
Oh, they do. It's Asia Wilson. She runs the league.
Essentially, yeah.
She has so much power because she's the best player. They want her to be the face of the league, and they want her, and that's really what it amounts to. And that's not going to happen because Caitlin Clark is the face of the league since day one. It's going to get worse as she wins MVPs and earns championships.
Well, that's sad. That's sad that we even have to say that. Instead of saying worse, we should be saying it will get better.
I know.
But no, we're going to say it's going to get worse.
No,
which is sad. That's very sad.
It's going to get worse. The refs, even after what she said about white privilege and stuff, I don't think the refs are going to be for her. I just don't think so. I don't think the league's going to be for her. I don't think they're going to promote her this year. A little bit more. They did do that when the schedule came out, and then they took it down after a day. They took her down when the schedule came out. She was actually the cover. I was surprised. That was on their home. That wasn't on the, WNBA network on the X. That was on their home webpage.
Yeah.
I was surprised that tells me it's going to turn a little bit. They're going to promote her a little bit more this year. Someone got in their ear. I don't know if it was Adam Silver. Someone got in their ear and they said, you know, you got to promote her some. This is silly. You got this gold mine and you want more money, but you're not taking advantage of the gold mine. You know, it's just stop.
It's very silly. Very silly.
They're so dumb. It's just ridiculous. So you can't see the light, Rob. You want to know why? Because it has nothing to do with intelligence. It has to do with they're blinded by being jealous of her and envious of her. And so they get all emotional and they can't see what's clearly in front of her in terms of logically and factually. That's all that's happening. That's what it is.
Emotional league.
Yeah. So anyways, let us know what you think. If you make some comments down below, intelligent, non-insulting ones. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Hit the notification bell when you do so you get notified of our next video and make Rob happy. And if you like this video, hit the like button. And feel free, tomorrow night, we've got a live show, 6 to 8 Eastern time, except for major
I'll be there.
Rob will be there. So
Yes,
call in.
You
can call in too. It's pretty cool. And we can discuss all this. And we can discuss the white privilege comment that she made. And I broke that down in another video, so I'm not going to touch it here. And if you want to donate to this channel, you can with Super Chat, Super Thanks down below. And there's a link to PayPal. And we'll see you in the next video.
Peace out.